Did you have any idea your performance at the AMAs would ignite this firestorm?
No clue. No clue at all. You know, I was really looking forward to it. I worked really hard with my dancers in my band for about 2 weeks putting that together. And I admit I did get carried away, but I don't see anything wrong with it. I do see how people got offended, and that was not my intention. My intention was just to interpret the lyrics of my song and have a good time up there.
Did you plan, when you were rehearsing, did you include those sexually charged moves in the rehearsal?
Those kind of came from more of a impromptu place. No, those were not rehearsed. So, you know, I think ABC was taken a little by surprise, and that wasn't my intention. I wasn't being sneaky. It just, it got the most of me, I guess.
I think that people take issue with the fact that it did happen on network television, where a lot of families were watching. As you know, you have tons of fans, especially children who have followed you since Idol. Can you imagine their parents sitting down with them to watch the AMAs, and without warning, there you are, kissing another guy, simulating oral sex? Can you understand why they would be upset?
Yeah, I suppose I can understand why they were upset, and you know, honestly, it didn't cross my mind, children. It was almost 11 o'clock. I didn't, you know, it was a nighttime show. I was there in the audience full of mostly adults. And sometimes I forget, oh, there's a camera on. You know, I come from the theater, and I'm programmed to kind of look at who's in the live audience, and that's kind of where I come from. And so I was looking out in the crowd and saw some of my favorite pop stars and thought, I want to let loose, and it just kind of, it got the best of me, and I had a great time. Unfortunately, there were people upset, but I think there were also people that really enjoyed it. So, like Idol, I guess I have a tendency to divide people. Apples and oranges, you either like it or you don't.
Now that you have had time to think about the children, your child fans, do you feel that you need to apologize to them?
I think it's up to the parents to discern what their child's watching on television.
Well, but they had no idea they were about to see something like that on network
you know,
TV.
and you know, just to play devil's advocate with you, Lady Gaga smashing whiskey bottles. Janet Jackson grabbed a male dancer's crotch. Eminem talked about how Slim Shady has 17 rapes under his belt. There was a lot of very adult material on the AMAs this year, and I know I wasn't the only one. I'm not using that as an excuse, and I don't have any offense. I didn't take any offense with those performers' choices. I'm just saying, I think it's up to a parent to watch the television. It was almost 11 o'clock at night. If they're concerned with certain material, maybe TiVo it and preview it before your small child is watching it.
So you don't feel that it's your responsibility
I'm not a babysitter.
To issue an apology?
I'm not a babysitter. I'm a performer.
Do you think, because I know in the previous days you've said there's a double standard when it comes to male performers. Why do you feel that way?
I believe there's a double standard. I think that if it had been a female pop performer doing the moves that were on the stage, I don't think there would be nearly as much of an outrage at all. Like I said, there were other performers doing risque things. I mean, Janet Jackson, crotch grab. I haven't heard one peep about that.
Do you think it's because you're male, or do you think it's because you're gay?
Both. I think it's a double whammy. I think it's because I'm a gay male, and I think that people haven't seen that before.
But I don't think people have said specifically that they were upset about the fact that you're gay or that you were kissing a guy. Again, it was...
Well, I think some people were upset that I kissed a guy.
The venue is what I've heard the most. Is that not what you've heard?
The what?
The venue, the fact that you did it at that time and on network
yeah,
TV.
I mean, I suppose that makes sense, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, again, when I got up on stage, I don't think about things like, oh, this is network television, what time is it, what children are watching. I just was in the moment.
If you had it to do over, would you do anything differently?
I would sing it a little bit better. The adrenaline took such hold of me that I went back and reviewed it and went, well, that wasn't my best vocal performance, but you know, no one's perfect.
But you admit that you got carried away with the other stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it got the best of me. I'm obviously learning. I mean, this was my first performance post-Idol on television. The song, lyrically, is sexual. And I just was performing the lyrics of my song. And I think in the future, I will probably make a little bit more of an effort to stay consistent with what I do during rehearsal to what I do during the show. That's something that I'm learning. And that way, if anybody has any problems with what I'm doing, it can be explored during rehearsal.
What is the image that you want America to have of Adam Lambert?
Well, and that's the funny thing, is that this is one song. This is one production number. This song on the album is one of the few songs that really explores risque, dangerous, kind of edgy sexuality. There's other songs on the album that are completely different. So for me, I hope that people don't put me into a box saying, oh, he's nasty and he's going to be that way all the time. That was one performance.
All right. And
Yeah.
Adam, I know you're going to stick around, perform 2 songs, and take questions from the audience.
Yeah, and parents, this is appropriate, I promise.
All right. Good. Good to know, because it is early.
It is
Adam
early.
Lambert, thank you. We'll be right back with a whole lot more right here on The Early Show on CBS. Don't go away.
What do you want from me?